Planning in the sense, what is the time constraint it is offering for completing their services for the systems, and what is the development process, what are the standards they have to follow, what are the organization standards, which standard it will follow for that particular product, what is the speed of that product, performance of that product, that and all we can analyze with the help of non-functional requirements. So speed, size, reliability, portability, in the sense it will analyze in the sense that matrices which comes under non-functional requirement. See, listen, functional requirement is nothing but it tells about the what is the input, what is the output, how the product will work, how the working process of the product, that and all which covers in the sense it comes under functional requirement. Non-functional requirements means time constraints and matrices like speed, size, reliability, portability, then the standard which is followed for the particular product, and then other than that, what is the delivery time? So delivery time of the product, what is the space requirements, and organize with the help of the non-functional requirements. Okay, that requirements and all which comes under non-functional requirement. What are the three types of non-functional requirements by anyone? Already we have seen one diagram, right? Are you able to see the diagram? These are the three types of non-functional requirements. Last class we have seen these three types. Are you able to ஞாபகம் இருக்காப்பா? Are you able to remember this thing, ma? The three types of non-functional requirements. ஞாபகம் இருக்கா? கௌதம், கனிமொழி, கரண்.
Yes, ma'am.
கரண்,
Yes, ma'am.
கனிமொழி,
Yes, ma'am.
சாருமதி. Charumati is not there, huh? Kavita, Logavashini, anyone? இத்தனை பேர் சொல்லிட்டேன், ஒருத்தர் கூட பதில் சொல்லல. கவிதா, ஹர்ஷா, ஆர்த்தி, ஹர்ஷா, ஆர்த்தி, அபினவ்.
Yes, ma'am.
அபினவ்,
Ma'am, சொல்லுங்க
மேம்
ma'am.
கேக்குதா மேம்?
Now is it audible, ma, Abhinav?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, இப்பதான் எனக்கு உங்க வாய்ஸ் கேக்குது. Okay, last class என்ன பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தோம்? We have seen functional, non-functional requirement, types of non-functional requirement. We have seen that one more. The diagram பார்த்தோமா?
Yes, ma'am.
Whether we have seen this diagram or non-functional requirements. Okay, what are the different types of non-functional requirements? So first one is product, next one is organizational, the third one is external requirements. So these are the three types of non-functional requirements. So the in this way we are collecting the details from the customers in the sense that requirements and all which comes under non-functional requirements. Ma, listen. First, we are having three types of requirement: functional, non-functional, and domain requirement. The first one is functional requirement. Functional requirement, it is nothing but it tells about the what is the input, what is the output, what is the process of the product. That details and all, if we collected in the sense, then it is nothing but it is the functional requirements. Non-functional requirements அப்படினா என்னென்ன வரும்? Non-functional requirements is nothing but it tells about the time constraint, standards, then some of the matrices like reliability, portability, and size of the product, that and all, it comes under non-functional requirements. Here in non-functional requirement, we are having three types. One is product, another one is organizational, and third type is external requirement. The first product requirements, it tells about the efficiency of the product and the portability of the product and performance, overall space of the product, that and all, which comes under product requirement. The next one is organizational requirement. So in the organizational requirement, it tells about only the standards, how we have to implement, what is the plan for delivery of this product, whether we are giving us a exe file or any external devices we are using, like that we have to once while delivering that product, we have to analyze all those things. So that and all, which comes under organizational requirement. The last one is external requirements. External requirements in the sense it tells about the safety and the ethical standard which is followed for our product. What is the ethical standard? What are the ethics we are following to increase the performance, as well as to in order to work in the environment, we have to follow some ethical standards. So that comes under external requirements. So in the external requirement, it tells about the privacy and safety, security measurements also. So the security measurements and the privacy of the product, that and all, which comes under external requirements. So these are the different types of non-functional requirements. The next one is, the third one is domain requirement. The domain requirement, it tells about, so this is the thing, domain requirement. The domain requirement, in the sense it tells about what is the application domain of the system. That is, what is the need for the users, why we are going for this particular domain. For example, if you are going for image processing, in the sense in first itself we have to identify these things and all. Okay, so these are the three types of requirement which is available in the requirements. Okay, so what are the requirements? Functional, non-functional, and domain requirements. The next one is user requirement. User requirement is nothing but it tells about the functional and non-functional requirements only, ma. But it is not in a technical language. It is in a simple form. If you are designing a document, in the sense, then that document is the document full and full, it tells about the user requirement. So user requirement. So here in the user requirement, it will be in a simple language. Wherever we want, we can insert the diagrammatic representation. Then it tells about the requirements which is used for the particular project. Uh, we have to follow some standards in the user requirements, ma. So here in user requirements, we have to analyze uh, it should be in the natural language, and there should be a clarity in our document, because we are using natural language only. We should not use any technical words in the user requirement. So in the user requirement document, it should be written as a simple natural languages only. Wherever we want, we can add some simple diagrams. So then the document should not have any ambiguous topics, like it should be very clear, so there should be a clarity in the document. We have to analyze that one. The next one is, we should not confuse what are the requirements, because according to the customer requirement, we have to segregate what is the functional and non-functional requirements, and we have to segregate what is our goal, how to design that one, that and all. We have to clearly distinguish in our document. The next one is, we whatever the things, if we are having so many requirements, we have to segregate. We should not segregate most of the requirements. We have to perform as a single requirement. So for example, இப்போ ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் பத்தி பேசுறேன்னா, பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் பத்தி சொல்றேன் அப்படின்னா, in the performance itself, it has to tell about the security. And the performance லயே என்னென்ன சொல்லணும், அதோட security சொல்லணும். It has to tell about the security and the robustness and reliability of the project and speed of the project. All the matrices we have to analyze in the performance. So ஒரு particular topic லயே, ஒரு particular requirements லயே, we have to express different requirements in the single requirement. Okay, so ஒரே ஒரு point லயே performance, in the sense it has to define all the matrices like size, security, space of the software, then privacy of the privacy, then portability, that and all we have to analyze when in a single word performance. So in that way we have to prepare a document. The next one is user requirement document. The user requirement document, it should be in a simple language, simple English language. Then there should not be any technical words in the document. It should be in a natural language, and wherever we want, we can add diagrams. We have to concentrate on these three things, three features. The first one is there should not be lack of clarity, and if in the requirement should not be in confusion mode. So whatever the requirements, we have to segregate the requirements in a proper format. We have to assign goals, that and all we have to follow. So third one is, if we are having several requirements, we have to express in a single requirement. So if we are telling performance, it has to give all the details about size, portability, security, performance, space, all those things it has to define in a single word performance. Okay, so next thing is, we have to follow some guidelines. So guidelines, in the sense, the main some of the prototypes we have to follow in the user requirement. The first one is, we have to highlight the text like bold and italic wherever we want. So for the key parts and all in the requirements, if we are having any key terms, so in the key term should be used, we have to highlight that one using bold and italic. Then we have to use only simple languages. Don't use a technical words. That is the second point. The fourth one, wherever we want, we can add the diagram, simple diagrams. The diagram should not be in the confusion mode. So wherever we want, we can add these simple diagrams. Okay. Then we have to follow some standard format for defining the user requirement. So ஒரு document மாதிரி prepare பண்றேன்னா, the organization has to follow some standards. Okay, the same standard format only we have to follow for all the projects. For all the organization project, we have to follow the same standard format. So these are the guidelines for writing the user requirement. The next one is system requirement. System requirement, it is nothing but it tells about the detailed description about the product. So how we are implementing that project, that and all we have to briefly we have to analyze, and it has to describe in the system requirement document. It tells about the whole system. So what are the objects, how the data is flowing, what is the internal architecture of the system, how we can design the diagrammatic expression for a system architecture, then whether that product is available in the existing system or not, we have to analyze that one. So that and all which comes under system requirement. So system requirement, it tells about what the system will do and how we have to implement that one. It tells about the detailed description about the user requirement. So how we have to implement the particular software product. So for implementation, what are the steps we have to follow? That and all which covers in system requirement. So why we are going for system requirement in the sense, the system requirement, it will help for designing the architecture of the system. So with the help of the architecture only, we can process our product. If we are having any subsystems, or we can whether any modules have to segregate or separate, all those things we have to analyze with the help of the system requirement. The second point is we have to analyze whether the product is available or not. So we are comparing with the existing system whether our product is generating a new a new system, or whether we are using any existing system and all, we can analyze with the help of the system requirement. The second point is this. The third point is if we want, we can add the external requirement. So external if you want to add some external system requirement, that and all we can add with the help of the system requirements. So external in the sense, for example, we are designing a product. Okay, so if you are given for the third parties, so they are adding some more features in your product, in the sense that concept is called as external system requirement. So that and all we can add with the help of the system requirement. So these are the things we have to follow in the system requirement. Then notation. So we have to follow some of the notations in our documents. Notation in the sense, some of the prototypes we have to follow. It has to be used symbols or anything else. So first thing we have to use only natural language. So these are the things we have to specify in the system requirements. The first thing is we have to use natural language. Then second point is design description language. Wherever we want, we can add small diagrammatic expression in order to identify the interfaces. So எப்படி one modules இன்னொரு modules எப்படி வந்து கனெக்ட் ஆயிருக்கு அப்படிங்கிற interface. So we can express that one in the diagrammatic expression. So next one is graphics notation. So wherever we want, we can use our graphical languages. Mathematical specification, wherever we want, we can use formulas formulas or notation based on the machines we are using. So these and all we have to specify in the requirement specification document. So next topic is requirement engineering process. So this is one of the important topic, So what is the IEEE definition of requirement engineering process? That and all we have completed. The next in our syllabus, the next topic is functional and non-functional requirement. We have seen what Is it audible, ma? Student, is it audible?
Yes,
என்னென்ன
ma'am.
டாபிக்ஸ் கவர் பண்ணிருக்கோமா? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒன் இஸ் இன்ட்ரடக்ஷன். First one is introduction. Introductionல என்ன பார்த்தோம்? We covered what is mean by requirement analysis, IEEE definition of requirement analysis, then user requirement document na enna, why we are, what are the two types of document which is available, then that one is nothing but, so are you able to see that one? What are the different types of requirement? User requirement na enna, system requirement na enna, how we have to go for documentation, that is software design specification. So in that we have concentrated these two diagrams, that is user definition, requirement definition document, and system requirement specification document. We have seen that one. Okay, the next one is we have seen functional and non-functional requirement. So functional and non-functional requirements la we have seen what is mean by functional requirement and non-functional requirement. We have analyzed what is mean by functional and what is mean by non-functional requirement. In the non-functional requirement, we have seen different types of non-functional requirement. The first one is product requirement, organizational requirement. The third one is external requirement. These are the three types of non-functional requirement we have covered in non-functional requirement. The next we have seen user requirement. So user requirement in the sense while we are preparing a user requirement document, what are the things we have to analyze and what are the things we have to follow in the user requirement. The guidelines, what are the prototype guidelines or prototypes we have to follow in the user requirement document. We have seen that one. The next one is system requirement. We have seen what is the difference, that is system requirement and user requirement difference in the sense, in the user requirement we should not use any technical words, it should be purely natural language, but in the system requirements wherever we want we can use the technical words, it should be in simple language but it has to describe all the process of the product. So wherever we want you can use technical terms. So in this, that is the main difference between user requirement and the system requirement. So we have seen in the system requirement, we have seen in the system requirement, we have seen why we are going for system requirement, what is mean by system requirement, how it is helpful. So how it is helpful for in the next phase, that and all we have seen in the system requirement. So how it is helpful, ma? It will be the system with the help of the system requirement document, we can easily design the initial architecture. So architecture in the sense overall flow of the project we can easily identify. That is the structure of the product we can easily identify. From the system requirement we can identify what are the modules which is involved in that product. Then with the help of the system requirement we can analyze whether our project is a new system or we are using existing process or not, that and all we can analyze. Then simple designing process and all we can identify with the help of the system requirement. So these are the things we have to follow in the system requirement. In both system requirement document as well as user requirement document, we have to follow some notations. The first one is structure. We have to follow some notations in our document. First is natural languages and mathematical notation, graphical notations. Then wherever we want we can add description language in the sense diagrammatic expression. So wherever we want we can add our diagrams. So that and all we have to follow in the user requirement document as well as system requirement document. So these are the things we have covered in unit 2. The next one is requirement engineering process. Requirement engineering process full and full it tells about what is the process we have to do while doing while gathering the information, while getting the information from the user. So requirements nala enadhu, we have to collect the customer ideas for their product. Customers கிட்ட இருந்து ideas வாங்குறோம் அந்த ப்ராடக்ட்டை டிசைன் பண்றதுக்கு requirements நால. So requirement engineering process na enna? ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி கலெக்ட் பண்ற டீடைல்ஸ் ஹவு வி கேன் அனலைஸ், ஓகே, ஹவு வி கேன் ப்ராசஸ் தட் அண்ட் ஆல் இட் கவர்ஸ் இன் ரெக்யர்மெண்ட் இன்ஜினியரிங் ப்ராசஸ். The next topic is the requirement engineering process. So here this one is very important topic mas, ரொம்ப ரொம்ப important topic இது. So in that only it will they will ask mostly in this topic only they asked a 16 mark question. So mostly maybe for you people online or offline, if they asked us offline, in the sense this one will act as a 16 marks. In online, in the sense most of the question which covers under requirement engineering process. Are you able to see the diagram now? This is the requirement engineering process. These are the these are the phases which is used in the requirement engineering process. So here in bladder topics. So in each topic, we have to analyze what are the things we have to follow in each. நடக்குதா?
Your voice is breaking, man.
இவ்வளவு நேரம் நடத்துனது கேட்டுச்சா?
Yes ma'am, last நடத்துனதா கேக்கல மேம்.
ஒரு 2 minutes கேக்கல மேம்.
ஓகே மேம், ஓகே மேம். the next இது வரைக்கும் நம்ம பார்த்தது ஃபுல்லாவே வந்து இன்ட்ரடக்ஷன் அண்ட் சப் டாபிக்ஸ் which comes under requirement analysis. Okay, in the second unit we have seen these topics under. The next topic is requirement engineering process. That one is the important topic na. If they ask us on if we go for offline exam, they will ask this question as a 16 mark question or 13 mark question. So kepanga part B question na. Maybe if it is online mode, in the sense they will ask multiple choice question in requirement engineering process. The next topic is one of the important topics is requirement engineering process. It tells about how what are the things we have to follow while doing requirements. So these are we are in the diagram we have highlighted some few topics like different phases. That is nothing but these are the things we have to follow. Why these are the things we have to follow in the requirement engineering process. It is acting like a phase. So over phase வந்து act ஆகும். Over phase na over step by step procedure. So in the requirement engineering process we have to cover all the subtopics. The first subtopic is feasibility study. The second subtopic is requirement elicitation and analysis. The third subtopic is requirement specification. The fourth one is requirement validation. So here we are having in the diagram we are having square box as well as one round table box. So here this round table, this round table is nothing but it tells about the steps. What is the process? It tells about the step or process of the requirement engineering process. The square box, it tells about the document, report in the sense document. So after each phases we have to prepare. So in the feasibility study we have to prepare one document. The document name is feasibility report. The second phase is requirement elicitation and analysis. During this time, we have to prepare a document. That document is called as phases requirement specification. In the requirement specification module, we have to prepare one document. That document is called as user and system requirement. Then after that, we are going for requirement validation. In the requirement validation, it is the last. We have to validate our requirements whether it is satisfies the customer needs or not. That and all we have to validate with the help of requirement validation phase. So during that time we have to prepare a document. In that document we have to add all the user and system requirement and that system model. System model is nothing but diagrammatic expression. All those things we have to covered in the requirement document. That is nothing but SRS document, software requirement specification document. So after this process, we will get one finalized output. That finalized output is nothing but SRS document. SRS document is nothing but software requirement specification document. It covers all the topics which is related for our software. Introduction, aim, objective, what is the existing system, what is our proposed system, in diagrammatic expression, how we can express our concept, that is architecture diagram. Then how we can do the coding part, that and all we can analyze with the help of use case diagram, class diagram, like that. There are so many diagrams are available. We can identify with the help of the these and all we have to covered in the requirement engineering process. Okay. Okay, ma, are you able to identify? புரியுதா ரெக்யர்மெண்ட் இன்ஜினியரிங் ப்ராசஸ்ல என்னென்ன வருதுன்னு? ஸோ இது பார்க்கலாம்ப்பா இந்த கான்செப்ட். So these are the steps, ma. This box is tells about the steps. In the box வந்து steps mean பண்ணது. The square box it is nothing but after this document we have to prepare a doc. After this process, we have to prepare a document, ma. So this document is nothing but ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்டெப்புக்கு கீழேயும் நம்ம வந்து என்னது we have to prepare a report வந்து prepare பண்ணணும். So feasibility study னா feasibility report பார்க்கணும். Requirement elicitation இதுல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா we have to prepare a document that is the system model. So இந்த எல்லா இதையும் பேஸ் பண்ணி last during requirement validation we will prepare a finalized document. That document is called as requirement specification document. That is nothing but SRS document, software requirement specification document. ஓகேயா? ஸோ இதுக்கப்புறம் நம்ம ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்டெப் பை ஸ்டெப் ப்ராசஸா போலாம். இது வரைக்கும் புரியுதா? So first thing is requirement engineering process. எதுக்காண்டி போறோம்? The requirement engineering process it tells about what is the steps we have to follow. So why we are going for this one? What is the customer wants? We have to analyze the need and what are the things we have to negotiate. What is the solutions we are getting? What specification we have to analyze. That and all we can identify with the help of requirement engineering process. Okay. So with the help of this requirement engineering process we can identify these things and all. So இதெல்லாம் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்றதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? இந்த ஸ்டெப்ஸ் எல்லாம் ஃபாலோ பண்ணுவோம். these steps என்னென்ன ஸ்டெப்? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப் வந்து feasibility study. The second step is elicitation and analysis. The third step is requirement specification. The fourth step is requirement validation. These are the four main steps we have to follow for requirement engineering process. So next, in each step, after completing this step, we have to prepare a document. So ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்டெப்பும் முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் we have to prepare a document. So that document it tells about tells about that process. என்ன step follow பண்றியோ அந்த step பத்தி full document you have to prepare. At last you have to prepare one finalized document. That document is called as SRS document, software requirement specification document. So இது வரைக்கும் ஏதாவது doubts இருக்கா? இதோட கான்செப்ட் மீதி நம்ம நெக்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ் பார்க்கலாம். ஏதாவது டவுட்ஸ் இருக்கா? Is it audible ma? ஏதாவது டவுட்ஸ் இருக்கா? அபினவ், ஆர்த்தி, கனிமொழி, பெனிப்ரியா?
No, ma'am.
No doubt, ma'am. Okay, ma. Okay, ma. Shall we wind up, ma? So in syllabus we covered nearly 1.5 units. Share the. Are you able to see the syllabus, ma? Are you able to see the syllabus? We covered what is mean
Yes,
by
ma'am.
requirement, software requirement. The next one is functional and non-functional requirements. So software requirements and functional and non-functional requirement, user requirement, system requirement. We have covered that one. The next we have taken requirement engineering process. We are not covered software requirement document. So requirement engineering process பார்த்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் நம்ம software requirement document பார்க்கலாம். Why we are seeing this topic at last, in the sense requirement after this process only. After this process only we will prepare, at last only we will prepare one document. That document is called as SRS. That is, SRS is nothing but software requirement specification document. Okay, so at last we will cover the topic. So requirement engineering process la parunga. So whatever step, feasibility study, requirement elicitation and analysis, requirement validation, at last requirement management. So these are the subtopics which is covered in requirement engineering process. We will cover these topic while the requirement engineering process படிச்சாலே அது கீழ இருக்கிற டாபிக்ஸ் தான் இதெல்லாம். இது எல்லாமே நம்ம ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணிடுவோம். ஓகேங்களா? After this topic we will go for SRD, software requirement document பார்க்கலாம். Okay, yeah? Okay, next class we will complete our requirement engineering process. Shall we wind up, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma. Thank you. Thank you, students.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.